Alright fam, you're not gonna believe the stories we've got today. We've got the Battlefield 6 devs, actually for real, no cap, listening to our feedback for the beta, from the beta, and making the game better. On the flip side, you've got Capcom looking at millions and millions of dollars they made from Monster Hunter Wilds and basically saying, that's it? Then we've got the Mortal Kombat team digging up some questionable classics for their new collection, and to top it all off, we've got reports that Elden Ring on the Nintendo Switch 2 is running like a slideshow from your grandma's vacation. So I gotta ask, what are they doing? Today, we're breaking down all the W's and L's in the straight up chaos. We're talking about a developer that's earning back our trust, a publisher that's lost in the sauce, some hilarious additions to a legacy collection, and a port that might be dead on arrival. Let's get into the heat. Let's start with a massive W, because this is how you do it. After the absolute train wreck that was Battlefield 2042's launch, we were all a little worried about Battlefield 6, but the open beta was fire, breaking records for the franchise, and it looks like DICE and Battlefield Studios team were taking notes. They just dropped a huge list of changes they're making based directly on our feedback, and it's everything we wanted to hear. No cap, they're addressing the big stuff. The gunplay is getting a full pass on recoil to make it more consistent and rewarding, with a bigger focus on controlled tap firing and bursts. The M87A1 shotgun, which was a little out of pocket in the beta, is getting a nerf, and the movement, they're tackling the jump spamming and slide canceling cheese by reducing jump height and momentum when you transition from a slide to a jump. And they're increasing inaccuracy when you're firing while doing all that parkour nonsense. And they heard us loud and clear about the maps. They acknowledged the beta maps felt a little small, and they already announced that 2 bigger maps, including one based on the legendary Operation Firestorm from Battlefield 3, will be in a future playtest. They're also fixing exploits that let players get out of bounds and are improving parachute control to make dropping in less of a gamble. This is how you earn back trust, fam. After 2042, they knew they couldn't mess around. They ran the biggest beta in the series history, they listened to the community, and now they're being transparent about the changes. This is the complete opposite of the corporate silence we're used to. This is a certified W, and it's got me hyped for October 10th's launch. From a company that's doing everything right to one that has completely lost the plot, let's talk about Capcom and Monster Hunter Wilds. By every single metric, the game was a colossal success. It broke Capcom's all-time launch sales record, selling 10 million copies in the first month, and 8 million of those in the first 3 days. It sat at the top of sales charts for months and beating out giants like Assassin's Creed Shadows. You'd think Capcom would be popping champagne bottles, right? Wrong. In a recent quarterly financial call, Capcom basically said they're disappointed. They're happy with the launch, but they said the game sales in the months after launch have fallen short of their expectations. Their reasoning is that since it's a live service game, they expected sales to keep climbing with every update. They even compared it to Resident Evil and Devil May Cry, saying those franchises got sales boosts from things like a Netflix show or a new game revealed. Fam, what is they doing? This is some next level corporate greed. A game can be a record-breaking, chart-topping, critically acclaimed masterpiece, and it's still not enough. It's a 3-ring circus of unrealistic expectations, and their solution? They're going to keep pushing out free updates like the new Final Fantasy XIV crossover, and explore different pricing strategies. You know what that means, fam. That's corporate speak for we're probably going to have to put it on sale or drop it on Game Pass to hit our insane out-of-touch targets. It's a wild look into the pressure cooker that is modern AAA live service gaming. Yo, real talk, fam. Before we get to the next segment, I gotta show some love to the community. You guys are the reason I keep doing this, no cap. And if you want to support the channel and help me keep making these videos, consider joining the SeemlyTuber Media Squad. For as little as $5 a month, you can become a channel member. You get some slick exclusive emotes to flex in the comments. You'll get a special badge to show everyone you're a real one. And you'll get a shout out in my videos, for real. Your support helps keep the content coming and keeps me on this grind. So if you're feeling it, hit that join button below and become part of the squad. Much love, fam. Now, back to the heat. Let's lighten the mood a bit because this next one is just hilarious. Atari and Digital Eclipse are putting together the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, a massive compilation of over 20 classic games from the franchise's history. It's the original trilogy, a Fatality Trainer online play, CRT filters, all the good stuff. And this week at Gamescom, they revealed 2 more games that are being added to the roster. And fam, it's Mortal Kombat Mythologies, Sub-Zero, and Mortal Kombat Special Forces. No cap, I had to read that twice. For the young bucks in the squad, let me put you on game. These 2 games are legendary for being absolute trash. Mortal Kombat Special Forces is widely considered one of the worst video games ever made. It's a buggy, boring, broken mess, and Mythology Sub-Zero is a clunky, frustrating side-scroller with controls so bad they really like a screen door on a submarine. I respect the commitment to game preservation, but this isn't funny. It's like a museum of fine art deciding to hang up a kid's macaroni painting right next to the Mona Lisa. It's a choice, a very, very out-of-pocket choice. We still don't have a firm release date, just coming soon. But I can't wait to see a new generation of gamers experiencing the pain of trying to play Special Forces. For some news that is a certified yikes, Gamescom is in full swing and people are getting their hands on a Nintendo Switch 2 for the first time, playing some of the most anticipated upcoming titles. One of those is Switch 2 version of Elden Ring, called the Tarnished Edition, and the reports coming out are a complete disaster. According to the reports, Nintendo Life's Felix Sanchez, the performance is abysmal, he said. It was like playing Ocarina of Time. It was like 20 per second. Sometimes I was like, this has dropped to 15 frames per second, fam. That's not a game. That's a PowerPoint presentation. The situation is apparently so bad that Bandai Namco is preventing anyone at the event from recording footage of the game, which is a massive red flag. Now, to be critical but fair, the game only has a 2025 release window, so there's still time for From Software to optimize it. I doubt it, bro. I doubt it. But showing off a demo that runs this poorly is a incredibly bad look. It makes you wonder if they're spreading themselves too thin, with the Dust Bloods also in the works for the Switch 2 and the recent launch of Elden Ring Night Reign. This raises some serious questions about whether the Switch 2 can actually handle a game of this scale, or if the port is just doomed from the start. The Switch 2 is like running off of like PS4 hardware, almost like that level of hardware, so I doubt this game, they're going to be able to optimize it that well, bro. Like, they're going to have to come out with a new Switch sooner than what people think, bro. Quite honestly. Let's end on a quick W for the PlayStation squad. After a long troubled development, Stalker 2 Let's end on a quick W for the PlayStation squad. After a long troubled development, Stalker 2 is finally getting a PS5 release date. The game will launch on PlayStation 5 and PS5 Pro on November 20th, 2025, exactly 1 year after its debut on Xbox and PC. And the wait seems to be worth it. The PS5 version is coming packed with exclusive features like gyroscopic aiming using the DualSense motion sensor, plus support for adaptive triggers, adaptive haptic feedback, and touchpad gestures. If you've got a PS5 Pro, you'll also get higher quality shadows, better reflections, and improved volumetric cloud and fog rendering. Plus, PlayStation players are getting the game after the massive 1.5 update, which added a ton of new content and gameplay improvements. It's a great example of timed exclusive done right, where the players who have to wait end up getting the most polished and feature complete version of the game. So there it is, fam. Battlefield is on the comeback trail. Capcom is counting millions and still frowning. Mortal Kombat is preserving some of the worst games ever made, and Elden Ring on the Switch 2 is running on a potato. What a week of absolute madness, but that's my take. I want to know what you think. Which story got you the most hype or the most heated? Drop a comment below, hit that like button if you learned something, and sub to the channel so you don't miss the next deep dive. And you already know, hit me on Twitter and join the SeemlyTuber Media Squad. Much love. Fam, I'm out. Peace.